What is going on, pros and average Joes? RedBeard here, and it has been a very, very long time since I did a Reds corner. Just trying to get right back into it, rocking my Kings Guard shooter shirt. Um, just got back from an intense weekend of lacrosse with the TOS boys and all the guys out there on Kings Guard. It was an amazing weekend, and which brings me to my topic that I want to talk about uh, this fine evening. So this is pertaining to all goalies. I know most veterans or high school players might know this. I'm sure a lot of college guys know this. Most high school goalies probably not so much. Intermediate and beginners should really listen to this because it is super important and will change your entire way of getting yourself prepped before a warm up slash practice. So, as you all know, goalies get warmed up. Everyone has their own set style and pattern they do, or ritual that they do before a game to get ready for a practice or game. Repeating myself now, but what I like to do, and what I didn't do this past weekend was just kind of go over my stick and really have a really nice catch with it before stepping in the goal. I do this for two main reasons. One, I want to start getting used to the feel of my stick stepping onto the field and really just get loose and start doing maybe a 15-yard and then maybe a 25-yard catch. Start real close and then start getting wider, and it really starts to loosen up your shoulders, get your arms in motion, your technique of getting your elbow pointing towards your target, and then coming up and over with your hands, and really getting that the muscle memory going before stepping in the cage when you're starting to make saves and having to do an outlet to the person that is warming you up. So after you're doing that, and after I've done that, and then I've done my stretching, of course, I take my stick. I'm going to show you, and it's going to look different from the last time you guys seen it because I've had to make the adjustments when I was there. And I take the bottom string and I tighten it. And what that does is it pulls the mesh to the head. But what it also does is, by loosening this knot and then pulling it tight again, or hand tight, to about, I don't know, not so the mesh is touching the head, but just enough so you can see where the I don't know how to explain it, but goalies, you know what I'm talking about. So take just a little bit in, make it a little bit shallower. So if your pocket is up like this, just pull it in just, a little bit. So then when you retie your knot and you tie it back to the back of the head and you start taking some shots and you start throwing with it in warm-ups, your head will be dialed in and you'll be totally ready for the game. Now, what happened in my situation, since I had an X in the bottom and not this U, my head was getting my mesh was getting really baggy, and actually during the first warm up, Scotty from throwing a string was warming me up, and he actually mentioned to me, "Dude, you really love that bag, don't you?" And I didn't really think about it too much, but I usually don't play with a bag. I usually play with a decently shallow head, or I'm sorry, a decently shallow pocket, so I can get a nice long outlet, but still be able to control the rebounds when they come in hard and fast, as from a high and from a low shot. So I ended up just playing with in that game with the deeper pocket, just to kind of get it, because I was used to it already. And that's another thing. It is so important that once you step in the cage, not to change anything mid-game or right before the game starts, even after taking your warm-up. So I kind of left it the way it was, and I was finding that I was looping my passes, and I knew with the guys that we were playing against, someone was going to get hurt. And that is something I really take into consideration when making clears is, do I have a safe and clear pass to get to my defenseman and being able to get the ball as quickly as I can up the field. And I knew I was going to get somebody hurt, so I had to change my sidewalls just a little bit. I pulled it in, so it's a little bit tighter down here, as you can see. It ends a little bit higher. Before, this piece was coming all the way down here, and I had a skip in the middle. So I had a really low bag. And I really wasn't liking it because, again, I was going to hurt somebody if I threw too much of a loop and I didn't have total control of the ball. And two, that's just not the way that I like to throw, and that's not the technique that I was taught when playing. But regardless to that fact, goalies, when you get in the net, just pull this back string just a little bit, tie the knot. All right, I use a square knot. If you don't know what it is, you take the left string and the right string, do an overhand, and you take the right string and then the left string and do an overhand, and then you pull tight. This knot will keep getting tighter, but will never come out until you take these two back sides. This is the knot that I've had in here since Scott warmed me up this past weekend, and I'll show you. Like, this thing is cranked down. I don't know if you can see it, and I'm going to untie it for you right now because it is a very, very easy knot to undo and tie again to make really quick adjustments if need be at half, or if you're playing in a tournament after your game, if you got about an hour or so, because I forgot what I was going to say. So it's a really easy knot, as you can see, that big loop right there. So again, if I'm going to make it tight, I'm going to take this out, and you can see right here, I can make this thing as baggy as I want. So that's pretty much, I mean, this thing was deep that day. So it was almost like that, and that thing is like almost 3 balls, maybe 3 1/4. And I really had to pull this thing in. So again, alright, so the pocket was, okay, that's a little deep now. So if your stick is turning into this right before a game or before you warm up, pull it in, a little bit tighter. So then when you tie the knot, I'm going to do it with you now, so if you want to follow along at home, you're going to take, this is my left, it might be a little mirrored in the camera, left over right, you're going to loop it, okay? And you're going to take your right one, the end in your right hand, you're going to go over left, so it creates that X, and then you're going to go underneath, you're going to pull, and I did it wrong. So left over right, right over left, and if it comes out kind of looking like this, it's kind of like poopy looking, but pull it out, and then just do the opposite. So since I did left over right, right over left, did it again. But you know what I mean. Left over right, right over left. There you go. So now it's nice and clean. And you just pull tight. And as you take shots, this knot will get tighter, and you'll be locked in and ready to go for your game. So that's it for this Reds Corner. I hope you guys got something out of this. I know it's a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take me. Please leave any comments down below for any goalies that's having some type of a problem in net. I'm going to do a lot more of these, especially goalie specialties, because there's not that many out there, and that's my specialty. So as far as right now, keep your hands up, keep your eyes open, and I'll see you out there.